September 1st, 1989. Dear Diary.
Hi, I'm Tashan Williams and I play Heather Duke.
I'm Jodie Steele and I play Heather Chandler.
I'm Sophie Isaacs, I play Heather McNamara.
Incredible. It's on such a bigger stage and it has a sense of exclusivity about it now that we've moved and we're so far back and there's so many more people to play the show to every night. We had no idea that we would transfer so quickly. So it's been such an amazing transition.
So having done the studio workshop of Heather's, that was an incredible experience because we had a little glimpse of how big the following was for the show in the UK and how the fans even then were screaming at the Heathers when they came in, and certain lines they were cheering for and loving. And then when we got to the other palace, in rehearsals, Andy, our director, was telling us, guys, the fans and the cornets, they're going to go crazy for you. They love this show. And there was only 4 of us from the workshop that came with the show at the other palace that could vouch for him and say, no, really, it's like nothing. It's like being at a rock concert. Then coming here, it's just on another level. We've got almost 3 times the volume, the love, the support, and it is literally exceeding every single dream and hope and ambition to see something from a workshop to doing the full production at the other palace, then to the West End. It's honestly, I'm so grateful and so proud to be a part of it.
Well, do you know, because England's very renowned for being quite, stiff upper lip and not cheering and clapping halfway through a line. One particular line that I say that I can think of that I won't say because it's naughty. It's just like, God, are we in America or are we in England? And I think it's because this show has brought the American culture with it, and we've been lucky enough to have the original director, writer and lyricist with it. So we've learnt the American way, and we've also taught them the English way. And so we found a happy balance, which has allowed English people to feel, yeah, I can whoop at this bit. Veronica's going to say a line, and halfway through this serious scene, I'm going to cheer before Chandler gets to say her next line. And it's quite... It's almost like this other relationship that you have suddenly as an actress on stage with your audience. It's like normally you feel quite separated, but we're breaking the fourth wall without even breaking the fourth wall. And we never actually talk to the audience, yet we feel a part of it with them because they're in it with us. They get to comment on what they think and feel by making noise, and that's not a very English way. And so I think it's quite nice that we've almost lifted that pressure. Do you know what? Here, you can do all that. You can whoop, you can shout, you can know that line. Maybe don't say it too loudly because we do hear you and see you reading it back to us. But it's just a different culture, and I think it's great that we've been able to, as a group of people, as a family, bring that to this country.
Okay. A Heather, to me, is somebody that everyone has in school or even an adult has in a work environment. And it's someone or a collective of people that are renowned for, I guess, not being the best type of people to be around, just being a certain clique that you either want to be a part of because I guess you want to have that kind of status, or they don't give you a very nice time. Duke as a Heather in our clique, she is the opportunist. She is she overcompensates to be at the top, and she, when she does get there, she has a difficult time with trying to sustain it and kind of loses control because she doesn't really know how to gain all this power and she doesn't know what to do with what she has.
Heather to me is a human that is such a coward that they have to surround themselves with people like me, less of them, which makes them believe that they have power. That's a Heather to me. And Chandler is the epitome of that. But unfortunately for everyone else around her, she's grown into such a power and an entity in herself that she has the ability to make others feel this big by not even doing anything, because everybody else does it for her. I think playing the character and knowing the other characters on stage, she has the most power. Because even in front of, she belittles Veronica, and JD, who is very much the other big source of power on stage, he doesn't like her either. He's scared of her. He wants to kill her. Well, he does kill her. Spoiler. And people either want to be her or they hate her, and they only want to be her because they believe that she isn't scared of anything, when probably deep inside she's terrified of a lot of things, and there's obviously got to be a reason deep down inside of her that she's become that way. But she is the alpha, and she's nasty as hell. I can't even say anything nice. Dead Heather is a different thing entirely, because it's not Heather, it's Veronica. It's something that Veronica has bred inside her mind. And I don't think, is there a nice moment of Chandler when she's alive?
No.
There isn't, is there?
No.
There we go.
Sorry, Joe.
No. So, no, there's always that bad, even JD's got nice moments. Chandler, nah, just solid evil. Don't be a Chandler, guys, all right?
Heathers exist and will exist in life, in school, in the work environment, whether they're the most popular people, the mean girls. I think there's always reasons as to why those people are like that, whether it's their own insecurity. Some people feel powerful by making other people feel inferior. So I would say that they will always exist, and it's survival of the fittest. Heather McNamara, to me, is personified probably by the colour yellow, because yellow is the weakest of the two, and it can be covered up by all the other colours. It's dominated by the other colours, and it can fall into the background. So initially that personifies her, but to see the layers and how those layers unfold, and the core of Mac, who's just a very vulnerable, very loving, very compassionate person who finds strength in Veronica to, it's okay to be nice, it's okay to like people, and it's okay to be kind, and you don't have to be nasty or shoot other people down to give yourself strength and power.
Energetic, important, and can I use girl power? Girl power.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Thought about this. You'll have the best time.
Thrilling, surprising, exciting.
My name's Carrie Hope Fletcher, and I'm playing Veronica Sawyer.
Jamie Moscato playing JD.
Heathers the Musical is a story about Veronica Sawyer, who wants everyone to be kinder to each other, she wants everyone to be beautiful, but ultimately sort of gets consumed by the idea of being outwardly beautiful, because the Heathers sort of take her under the wing and turn her into something that she definitely isn't, but she does it to be popular and to not feel picked on by everyone else anymore. But then she meets JD, whose idea of making the world a better place is by killing off the bad people in the world. Very interesting idea. But the thing about Heathers, I think the message that you can take away from Heathers is that good people make bad decisions and bad people can be redeemable.
I've been involved with this since the workshop, before we did the other Palace. Me, Sophie, Becky Locke and Dom. Us four of the oldest seniors in school. So it's been amazing. I've been able to watch it kind of develop, and each time there's like new stuff, new songs, and new Carrie song, new Tashan song. And I think they've really kind of cut away any fat and like just needle right down into the issues. I think they've done such a good job working it and creating something original and beautiful.
Veronica's she's the lead in the show, and so she's kind of supposed to be the more relatable. Will you stop it? I know you're making faces behind me. You're so horrible.
Karen.
My job's so hard because of him. Veronica is supposed to be the most relatable character in the show because she's the one that you follow throughout the story, and you kind of follow her journey. And I feel like you feel the most sorry for Veronica because she's kind of roped into making decisions that you know she doesn't want to make because of people. And it kind of makes it all the more heartbreaking that she starts the show with this wonderful idea and this really sort of strong moral centre about being kinder and being beautiful and making the world a better place through sort of changes in attitudes, and then this want to be liked and be popular, and it kind of takes over, and she makes some very questionable decisions.
JD is the new guy in school, and he's kind of been shunted around different schools all across America, just sort of following his dad wherever his dad's job takes him. And I mean, I feel like he sees the same thing pretty much everywhere he goes. There's always the jocks, there's always the cliquey girls, there's always the geeks. And then he meets Veronica, who is new to him, is exciting, and they connect. And kind of pull each other into this sort of magnetism of love and horrible manipulation, and things start to go horribly wrong.
I've never seen anything like it, and I'm not sure I will ever see anything like it. I think musical theatre just as a whole has sort of gotten bigger over the last few years with things like Hamilton and Dear Evan Hansen, and everybody's talking about Jamie, sort of shows that are sort of way more inclusive than we've ever seen in sort of creative industries before. So I think theatre has just made a massive leap in itself. But Heathers has a very specific young teenage fan base because the show is about teenagers for teenagers, and so they do come dressed up and they do relate to certain characters more so than others, and they really connect to this show, so much so that we have scrunchies thrown on stage every night, and we have like 150 people waiting outside queuing up with their programs in their cosplay, and they've drawn fan art that they're pinning to the corkboard outside
really
front of house.
Stuff.
Yeah, amazing
really
stuff.
Good stuff.
And yeah, it's unlike anything I've ever seen, and it's made us all feel like we have a responsibility to the audiences that come and watch the show every night to do justice to this story and sort of open up those conversations between adults and teenagers and teenagers and teenagers.
Yeah, fun. I did Spring Awakening like 10 years ago, and it's got a very similar sort of vibe, it feels like. I was at the swing then, back in the day, so I didn't have to do any of these. But it's definitely got that sort of love, like the people that love the show, that really love it. And again, that shows in what they throw on stage and what they come dressed up as and what they send us. And it's a really happy kind of family to be in.
Yeah, I don't feel like you ever just like Heathers.
Yeah.
You love it,
yeah,
or you don't. And yeah, the people who love it really love it.
Yeah. Exciting is one. Emotional and fun.
I look around at these kids I've known all my life.
Beautiful. I'm going to steal his emotional, because it is very emotional being the show. And intense, I think. The show's intense, the audience reaction is intense. It's a very sort of intense experience overall.
Yeah, I go with that one.